make the peanuts, everybody. I gotta make the bread. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl. Last night was crazy. It was beyond crazy. I did not sleep good at all. I'm tired. I'm heading to work. My back is like really hurting so bad that it's just unshakable right now. But you know, I have to go to work, and I'm hoping, like, my roof caddy, I put it on. I pray to God it don't get put it on. And it's windy out so bad, and it is just craziness. But this is a good morning. I wanted to talk about van life and how I saw this one channel that's saying about van life, and there's a lot of people with their kids that are homeless living in the van. And I mean, in their car, everybody, in their cars. Now keep in mind, that's craziness. You have got to get a van, everybody. You got to get a van. But my tips for van lifing is, well, I'm just trying it out. So, like, you know, I have the apartment where I rent, but I'm just trying the van life out if it's right for me. And I'll tell you, if it was summer, yes, great. Winter, you got to figure out a plan. I do have a place to park my vehicle, just like I said, that is in the woods. But you gotta be able to make sure that you have a proper place to park. I would suggest that if you have kids and you're living in your even in your car, maybe have somebody that you know, if you can pull like in front of their house discreetly with your kids. You don't want your kids out, you know, out in the van, but I've seen this, so I'm going to give tips later on when I get off of work on everything that you really should have for van life. Just like I said, I'm trying to figure it out, everyone. I'm not going to lie. I do have those woods. That is where I stay in the van when I want to. But, you know, I'm trying to figure this out and see, you know, I'm one of those bougie vanners that I do have a place to live. I'm just trying to figure it out. So right now, I'm just a bougie van lifer, van drive, right? You know what I mean? So I'm not going to I'm not going to lie to any of you and say that, you know, I do have a pooty bucket where, you know, because listen, you got to feel the whole experience of the living in the van if you're going to live there. I saw a girl where her van was like mine and she lived in it and she had no pooty bucket. It's like, how, girl, how do you not have a pooty bucket? Like, are you crazy? You have to have something to go to the bathroom. Like, so she got, I guess she had, like, she got diarrhea really bad for a whole day and had no pooty bucket, nothing. You can't just do this willy-nilly, everyone. You can't, even me. I am bougie and I have a pooty bucket. I have a pooty bucket, okay? You have to. You have to. Or you can't, don't even get in the van. You got to have something to go to the bathroom. It's no joke. If you can't humble yourself to go in a bucket and go to the bathroom, then you can't do van life. You can't do the woods. You can't do camping. You can't do none of that. You have got to be humble enough to shit in a bucket. Hell, even shit in the woods. As a matter of fact, I've had to go to the pooey in the woods already. Not in my woods, when I literally forgot my bucket to put it in. Okay, that's a little graphic, but I'm keeping it real. But you know, so what did they do back in the Pilgrim days? Well, they had to go to the bathroom. They had to shit in the woods, right? But you know, it's just me, and just like I said, I'm the bougie camper. Okay, I will admit, but I am realistic about what you have to go to the bathroom. Yes, I do stay in those woods. Everyone, last night was troubling. Okay, it was. You seen me? It was scary last night. It was beyond scary. I'm like, I don't even want to say I'm tired, because I'm not. I'm just, my back's all jacked up. I mean, seriously, my back is hurting. I'm trying to get, you know, things in here that I can make my coffee. I got a thing to make food. You know, I'm just trying to, I don't like open flames. I'm really nervous with open flames. My brother's house had burnt down a few years ago, so that scares me with open flames. That's why you don't see me in here cooking and stuff. Hell, I'm lucky to show you a candle burning. It really scares me. I'm not a big fan of open fire, flames and stuff if you don't know what you're doing. And just like I said, I actually do have a little burn pit. Hi everybody, good morning. I do have a little burn pit by the place where I do rent that spot from an older man that has those woods. Yes, he left me rented. Even he sets up little things and goes, put this in the video, put that in the video. So I'm one of those lucky vanners that if I want to go there, I can park there, okay? And he sets all this little stuff up for me. We're trying to find the buck, so we put up, so he brought down apples to put, you know, so we can lure the buck in, so we can make the video for all of you. So, you know, it's just, it's just craziness. So yes, we're just trying to do all that. But, you know, last night, I literally tried, everybody. I knew I had to go to work this morning. Now, you know, tomorrow I worked on my YouTube. So listen, tomorrow's Friday night. I have no idea. My brother said that how I could camp out and do videos at his garage. I mean, anything's possible at this point in time. I'm just kind of just feeling it out in the woods where I'm at. Okay, Silverman, you gotta go. You gotta go where they like that stuff in the channel. But so, you know, I just, I was horrible. And last night it was horrible, everybody. You seen my little Jesus shoes that I wear? This is how, like, I am really serious. They're my little Jesus shoes that I wear in case I have to get up out of the woods. But, I always liked camping in our backyard when I was a little girl. I used to camp me and my friends used to camp in my backyard. And so I always loved camping. We used to set up a campfire. My dad used to set up a campfire in our yard. So I love camping. We used to camp in the yard when we were little. So I know how to camp, but I'm realistic about what you got to have this day and age, right? Hi, Rockin' Joy. How are good days? You seem upset. No, I'm fine. No, I'm happy. Actually, I'm so happy. I survived it last night. But there's things that, you know, I just have got to learn, like the woods, you know, deep in, or you're in the woods by yourself. You just got to have a plan, everybody. You got to, and especially, I would suggest that if you're in the woods like I am and have a spot in the woods where I can park the van, you got to have covering inside your van, not outside. That stuff isn't going to cut it. Somebody could rip it down. Last night the wind was whipping so hard it ripped all of my my protection on my windows for the night off. So you can't you know, have the stuff outside. So I'm putting up the curtains today. When I get off of work, the curtains have to come up. I mean, there's no freaking way. You have to have protection in your van, everybody. You have to have curtains up. Oh man, yes, it was I had a headache all night. I had a headache all night. I had a headache all night. My back's hurting. I mean, let's talk about that. My back's hurting. You know, just like I said, I'm a bougie van dweller. I mean, I'm one of those kind that you know, I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just, you know, I'm not gonna lie, everybody. I'm not living in the van. If I want to, I will. I make the content in the van. I'm figuring it out. When I live in the van and officially move in the van full time, I will let you know that. But right now, I'm kind of nervous with going too far with the van because it does have 148,000 miles on it. So I do just go locally. Haven't been out of state yet with the van. I want to go to different national parks maybe and stay. I have no idea. I just, who knows? But, you know, I do make sure that the mechanic comes over so that way the van is serviced and I'm not like, you know, I'm all good and stuff. My brother did put a serpentine belt, radiator belt, I don't know what it is. That scares me because that slipped off. Like, how about if I was like in another state or like, that scares me. So that's why I have a different mechanic other than my brother, because this mechanic, the young man that you saw, he could come and help me like wherever I'm at. That's one thing nice about him, and he really knows how to work on stuff. But so, you know, I'm gonna venture out into other places. I do sleep in this van. I have slept in this van. I have slept in the van and fell asleep so hard that I didn't even have the doors unlocked. The doors were unlocked when I woke up. So, you know, I was like, oh my God, did somebody hurt me or whatever while sleeping, because I was so tired that I couldn't even think straight. But so yes, I have slept in this van coming home from Delaware. You know, me and my friend, we have fun. We go to the casino. She's 83. I told her she can lay in the front here. You know, thank you, honey. So, you know, I have slept in the van numerous times, and it is comfortable. Believe it or not, it is comfortable. I do have my shit bucket and everything, and back there, right in the way in the back, you always have something that you can go to the bathroom in, everyone. Always. Don't play like that. When you are out here in the elements, I want to give tips on, because I'm very good with, you know, organizing and making the most out of a small space. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks, and I even showed the maintenance, my mechanic. He might do van lifing in his car. So I told him how to do it, and he couldn't even believe the tips and tricks that I gave him for his SUV. He's like, oh my God, I never thought of that. And I said, yes. So I will, if you're in a car right now, what worries me is there's people out there that are truly homeless, and homeless with children. And, you know, it makes me want to cry, because I know that it's just me in this van. I know that I'm a content creator, and it makes me so sad, because there's families out there that are actually living in vans. There's mothers out there, everyone, that are living in their van with their kids, with their little kiddos. And that's heartbreaking to me, you know, because, you know, I'm feeling this van life out, and they're living this van life. And with little kiddos, that's got to be the saddest thing of your life, but you have a roof over their heads. But so I have tips and tricks with that. And, you know, I'm here to tell you, everybody, if you are a parent and you have little kiddos, you don't know what your financial situation is going to turn to. Always have a minivan, everyone. I'm telling you. Trade your car in for a minivan. You will not regret it, because the minivan is so big, so deep, so wide. There's a lot of things you can do with it that your kiddos would actually be comfortable in. Yes, thank you, I am. I think that, you know, your kiddos would be comfortable in. I will give you those tips and tricks later on. But as far as a car, and you are living in your car with your kids, I suggest you actually have to take the seats out, or make them completely flat, and put little beanbag satchels around, so that everyone has a beanbag. Because I'm telling you, times are getting tough. Things are really to the breaking point of no return, everyone. There's nurses, there's even doctors, all kind of people, right from the state you live in, that are van lifing it. And whether it's me just trying to figure it out, which, you know, are people that really are truly living van life. And I'm here to tell you that I took a day, and I done it, and it's no joke. It's no joke. Brushing my teeth, you know, getting a bath, you know, van lifing. I recommend you get a lot of those body wet wipes, but you do have to get a shower or a bath somewhere, you know what I mean? But they come in handy. I truly did immerse myself into it. I really did. And what I found, I don't go to the gym. I mean, I just exercise, but you know, me personally, I'm not just going to get a membership at the gym just to go to get a shower. Hell, I can go to my brother's and get a shower. You know what I mean? If you can't afford a gym membership, make sure you can go to a truck stop. They have showers, I think, for $3 or something like that. I don't know. I saw them when I had to go to the bathroom, when I was traveling. So, and they're really clean. So, you know, I don't think... Hi, honey. Hi, Sean. If I don't look down at you, everybody, I'm on the road. But look up the one travel plazas that have the showers, and just go there with your kids. I wouldn't recommend, I mean, you know, unless you're a gym bum or a gym person. I mean, I'm not. I am just naturally built this way. I take care of myself. I do power walk in the woods. I really do, even though, you know, I did see an alien. But I do power walk. I go to park and stuff. But you know, that's more of an expense that you just don't need. You know what I mean? I'm going to work, child. I'm heading to work. And as all of you know, I do work. I'm a content creator, but also my job, I'm a direct care worker with adults with autism that are autistic. So, you know, I do work. And I work on this too, my show. No, not to work, Sean. Come on now, I'm working with people with this disability. No, I'm not wearing those kind of stockings, but I'm gonna buy some just for you. Are you gonna donate to the channel if I buy some? Y'all are so demanding. You know what? These are so demanding on this girl. You gotta. But so, you know, I'll give you tips and tricks. Everybody, there's like, I have a safety bucket, and I will give you tips and tricks on what to put in that safety bucket. It's so important, very, very, very important. You know, just like I will give you tips on how to pack your clothes if you have children. I mean, I don't have any kids, just me, but I mean, there's things that you have to very pack wisely so they can have clothes for school and stuff. I mean, you know, it's just me, but I'm a very, very methodical packer with things. And so I'll give you tips and tricks later on. I'll set the table up in the woods where I'll be, and just like I said, I'm gonna honestly just one whole day. It could be this Saturday. I will honestly show you from the wake up to the brushing my teeth to, just like I said, I have a cooking device. I have the little thing to heat the food, but I am so scared of open flames. If you do not know what you're doing, don't be setting fires, everyone. It's Lordy be Jesus. I mean, not right now, because everything is so crunchy. And but I do have a fire pit now, but I just have apples on top. The older gentleman brought apples just for the aesthetics. So, you know, just for the deer to come, so I can take a video of him. But I wish I could, you know, have a fire for all of you to sit around and talk about stuff. But it is just, everything is so dry right now. So I don't recommend anyone setting a fire at this point in time for your campsite, not even in your van. You know, it's dangerous, everybody. She needs the bag shots. Yeah. I'm not in the woods right now. I'm heading to work, right? So, you know, it's just, but I'll be back later on, everyone, once I get off of work. And then I'll, you know, get ready, set up the table and show you all tips and tricks, because let me tell you something right now. This is gonna hit really bad by the end of this year, which is what? This already November. Can you imagine, everyone, how many people are gonna be living on 4 wheels? Whether they're camouflaging it with a beautiful RV, whether they're in their van, whether they're in their car, it's gonna hit big time. And a lot of people right now, I wanted to talk about this. We'll do an episode later on tonight of Snap Talk Live, because a lot of people are losing their jobs, everyone. If you have a job, a production job, you better brace yourself. You better brace yourself. If you are a factory worker, you better brace yourself like you have never braced yourself in your life, because factory jobs, AI is taking over. Factory jobs are going to get obliterated, and I'm telling you, it's no joke. Factory jobs. I just saw where this guy made a video where he worked at Amazon, and I think 33,000 people got let go. It's real, and the factory was like, he looked around, there was nothing in the warehouse. That means that they are getting ready to bring in the robots, bring in AI. You got to figure something, everybody. Think about the bottom line. You know why AI and the companies are going to turn to AI? Think about this. They don't have to pay employees for when they're being off sick. They don't have to worry about somebody showing up or not showing up to work, right? Hold on a minute. They don't have to worry about somebody showing up to work or not. And that is the key thing. A lot of these companies have a hard time getting employees to show up to work. They're having a hard time with finding people to go to work. So what happens now is AI is taking over. You don't have to pay a robot. They're there. You don't have to pay them overtime. You don't have to worry about if they're going to come to work or not. This is the real fact of AI, everyone. And can you blame companies? Like, there's a lot of companies that people take off of work, and then there's nobody there to even help and fill orders, where, you know, unfortunately, AI robots will do it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. And so, you know, I feel sorry for every single person that is a factory worker right now, because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. This is happening so fast that at the rate of unreal, what's going on here. And AI is done taking everybody's jobs like that. So I recommend that if you are a factory worker, you better have a backup plan for your finances. You better have a van. You better have a cargo van, something, because it is not. You're not going to be able to have that salary that you had working in that production. You know, in that being a production worker with other jobs. It's not going to happen. So normally, you know, there's a lot of older people that are factory workers. What are they going to do? Because they're not just going to be able to go anywhere and get a job that's going to pay them what that factory paid. And so, you know, it's the hard reality of what's going to happen to America. America's falling down at the grips, everybody, right now. It's falling down at the grips with people living in vans, living in their cars, living in their trucks, whatever they got to do. America is at the grips of a breaking point like no other. And it's a shame. It's a shame. This isn't America. I mean, this is America. We're really in the grips of it, everyone. And I sit and think back, I'm like, oh my God, thank God I don't have any little kids or anything. But, you know, I can't even imagine what people with little kids are going through right now at this grip. Because how can they afford childcare? With childcare being hundreds of dollars a week, I can't even imagine. And you're only making X amount of dollars. Then you gotta, who knows who you gotta get to babysit your kids. And this is why children get hurt and abused, because the parents have to leave their kids with certain people that are sketchy. You know, they have to leave their kids with who knows. And it's really sad. I feel so sad. This is so sad, everyone. I mean, we're on the brinks of a breakdown. We're not going up, everyone. It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to any of you. We're in a down spiral in this country like no other. And you know, I'm an independent voter. I don't like talking about politics, but there is something so for real about just what happened, because people just can't do this anymore. Nobody can afford to feed their little kids even good food, because the prices of meat is so high. And being a vegetarian, that's very expensive, everyone. People think that being a vegetarian is cheap. No, you have to be basically rich to be a vegetarian. I'm not lying to you, because the foods that you have to buy, the vitamins that you have to take, you have to be rich to be a vegetarian. Think about it, seriously. You have to be rich to be a vegetarian. So not everybody can do that. And so, you know, everyone, oh man, I'm just gonna break it down and keep it real. And I love all of you, and I'll see you in a bit. Everybody, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for rocking with this girl. Any donations to come to this channel, so much of it I will literally try to give back and help others, because that are really truly living this kind of van life. But I love you, everybody, and I'll see you after work. Have a blessed day. I love you. Stay up, stay positive. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe, and I'll see you then. Bye.